I'm Bas Balkissoon. I'm the MPP for Scarborough Rouge River, formerly City Councillor, City of Toronto, Ward 41, and previous to that, the City of Scarborough Councillor for Ward 13. I've been the councillor in this area for 17 years and the MPP in the last 2 years. I was elected in a by-election after Mr. Alvin Crillon, the Speaker of the House, decided to retire. Well, there's a huge difference between the responsibilities of an MPP and a city councillor. City councillor is responsible for day-to-day services like parks, recreation, libraries, swimming pools, street cleaning, garbage pickup, the operations of the TTC, Toronto Police Services. The provincial government is responsible for laws and policy matters related to education, hospitals, health care, and workplace safety, the environment, and these things. And what we do is set policies. We don't deliver service. We fund the municipalities to deliver some of these services. We fund agencies to do some of these services. We also offer grants to many organizations so that they can deliver a service that is needed by the community. So there's a whole major difference between City Hall operations and Queen's Park operations. I'm still getting used to it. The Legislative Assembly itself, the actual legislative duties that we perform are quite different than City Hall, because the legislature meets Monday to Thursday every week while it's sitting, whereas City Council meets just once a month for 4 days on a monthly basis. So it's quite different. I have to get accustomed to the schedule, but I would say I've made that adjustment. Really what I'm trying to do now is actually work on my community's behalf on the issues in the community that the provincial government can be of assistance. And some of those in the past has been education, health care, community safety. Our government has done a lot for Scarborough Rouge River in terms of community safety and education for young people that have had trouble in school or struggling and needed assistance. Scarborough Rouge River is got just over 100,000 people. There is, I believe, 85,000 qualified voters in the riding. It's one of the ridings that has the largest youth population, especially in the area east of Markham Road. I would say we also have a large population of single parents. You know, and these are people that are looking for employment, etc. But I've lived in this area since 1974 in the Scarborough area north of the 401. In this particular riding, I've been living here since 1979, and I've been involved in my community as a president of the Ratepayers Association. I've been involved in my community as a soccer coach for 17 years. I've been involved in my parent-teacher council at the school. My family has been involved in the daycare centers at the schools. So we are a family that has taken part in just about everything in the community. Right now, I'd say the major issues in my riding is to continue to work with the school boards and the schools to make sure that the young people are getting a good education, to make sure that some of the people that were struggling before and would be tempted to drop out of high school, that we could give them the help to stay in high school and move on to community college, because our government truly believe, you know, the future is young people with at least a community college education or a university first degree. So we have to focus on making sure that the youths understand this, and we help them to stay in school and graduate and move on to the next level of education. The other issue is prior to my election in 2005, Scarborough Rouge River was I guess an area that was probably having a lot of gun crimes. With a focused effort by the government and the Toronto Police and funding by the government, we have been able to bring that down to a level that, you know, in the last 2 years we really haven't had any significant problems. So, you know, my job would be to continue to make sure that the government understands that this is an area that needs help. It needs help from the police. It needs help from this education system. and that we continue to work with the young people. Along with that, we have an area in our community that needs help from the healthcare system. We're presently working on bringing a community health center to Malvern. I think that'll help the people in that area to have service close to home, and some of them who don't have a doctor on a regular basis will have the community center to go to get help. So those are the things I want to continue to work on behalf of the community. The environment is always an issue in Scarborough-Rouge River. We have the largest green park in my riding, and the people here want to continue to keep it green and make sure that everybody enjoys it, and it's there for the future generation to enjoy it. I would say probably in all the Toronto or even GTA ridings, Scarborough-Rouge River is probably the most diverse, because we have a fair population of people from the Orient. We have a fair population of people from all the South Asian countries. We have a fair population of all the countries from the Caribbean. And there's always people coming in that are new, because I think they enjoy the diversity, because we have not only a diverse community, but we have diverse commercial areas that people who come here can actually work, shop, and live in this area, because they can find all the foods they're looking for from their home country, and they don't have to travel very far to do this. So I think probably when it comes to diversity, both in terms of people, religion, commercial shopping, we have it all right here in Scarborough-Rouge River. I try to stay in touch with all the communities. I try to go to all the various events and community gatherings, and I meet with the neighbors. I talk to the neighbors. I have 7 town hall meetings every year in various locations throughout my riding, and people come out and actually dialogue with me. So I have a very good idea of the pulse of the community at any time, and I try to respond to the concerns of the community, and I've done this over 20 years, and I think this is why the people here have worked with me very closely, because I'm out there trying to work on their behalf. And when they have concerns, I work with them closely to make sure that their concerns and needs are met. I've continuously worked with the Chinese community. A lot of the Chinese businessmen here, I have a close working relationship with them. I've watched this community go from what I would call mainstream community back in the late 70s, early 80s, and I've actually worked with the Chinese community in all the businesses that have moved up here. A lot of the shopping malls, a lot of the industrial businesses are Chinese businessmen, and I have a very good relationship with all of them. And in fact, my campaign office, as you could see, is located on a major development by a couple of Chinese businessmen who are partners, and their facility was available, and I've made arrangements to use it as a campaign office. My campaign team right now, I would say 75% or so of the people coming out to help me every day are from Hong Kong or mainland China or Taiwan, and I'm very impressed with them that they're taking an interest in politics and taking an interest in their community and coming out and working with me. So this year that's been a real plus for me, because trying to communicate with the Chinese community, Mandarin and Cantonese is now the language out here. Previous years, like 10-15 years ago, it was mostly Cantonese. So I'm having very good support, and I'm really pleased and thankful for the community for responding to work with me. One of my employees, my administrative assistant, is from northern part of China. She has brought a lot of her friends, and her friends have brought other people because they're interested in learning. And a lot of them are quite pleased to go door to door and meet people, because it gives them an opportunity to dialogue either in English or Chinese. And a lot of them have been coming every weekend, and they're enjoying it. So I get some residents that are coming too, because I've had some long time friends. I have I'd say about a half a dozen of friends that have helped me in every election. So this is the 7th campaign for some of my community residents who have Chinese background, and they've been with me from day one, and I'm really thankful for that. I was at City Hall, and I've been there for so long that I felt confident that I could run and win at City Hall. But when Mr. Curlin, the sitting MPP, decided to step down, I made the decision to run for the Liberal Party, because I think the party recognizes community needs. I think the party recognizes what the previous government was doing wrong, and that the community needed help. And this government has responded to restoring healthcare, restoring education, taking a lot of effective decisions on community safety. So when I saw what the government was doing, I decided, yes, that I would run under the Liberal banner to represent this area, because I felt confident that this government would respond to my riding and respond to the needs of the riding. And I'm very pleased because in the 2 years that I've been in office, like I say, the crime in my community has dropped significantly because the government has invested directly in policing. They've invested directly in youth programs, youth employment. So these initiatives by this government tells me clearly that it's a government that's responsive to the people. It's a government that's listening to the people. And I would have to say that I'm very pleased of what we've done in Scarborough Rouge River and what we've done across the province. And I would appeal to the people in my riding that, you know, give us that second mandate, because we have a lot more to do, and we want to continue to do the things we've been doing in the last 4 years and make sure that we have a prosperous Ontario. I wouldn't say personally I would be putting any new initiatives in the legislature. Our platform has 4 key areas of response to the public. I think some of the issues that are being responded to by the government is well thought out and responsive to what the community has been asking for. I'd be happy to work on those issues, and I think a lot of our platform responds to the people in Scarborough Rouge River, and the majority of the voters in Scarborough Rouge River will be pleased that this government is listening to what they've had to say in the last 4 years. So I would work strongly on behalf of my community to make sure that the platform that we've come out with, which is, you know, 4 key areas, that we implement all of the things that are in that platform, because to me those are the things that will make my community, will make Ontario a better place to live, work, and bring your family up in.
Let's see, you mentioned 4 key areas. What are those?
It was healthcare, continue to do work in healthcare, continue to do work in the education in the public school system, strengthen the public school system, greening the environment. We have a lot of environmental initiatives in our platform. And the last area in our platform is building family strength, building better communities. Some of the things we've done for families just prior to the election has been the Ontario Child Benefit, which will benefit a lot of new families, a lot of young families. A lot of things we're doing in schools and universities will benefit the young people going to university with lower tuition, more grants. We have a book grant in this platform of $300 per year for every student in university. On the healthcare side, now the government has agreed to fund the PSA test, which a lot of men over 50 have this test on an annual basis, and they were paying for it. Now the government will pay for it. We have the test that will be funded by the government for ensuring that young females are not susceptible to cervical cancer. So there's some really good things in our platform, and I think the government is responding and listening to the public. You know, over the 19 plus years that I've been in government, I am very pleased that the contributions I've made to my community has made a difference to this area. I first ran on the basis that property taxes were high in Scarborough. It took me quite a few years, and I had the first reassessment by the City of Scarborough in 1994, which reduced the taxes in Scarborough. And in 1997, when the government implemented current value assessment, which is one of the things I was pushing for, I would say everybody in Scarborough benefited from that. Well, at least 90% or more of the homes in Scarborough saw reduced taxes. And that has made a big difference to our community. My work on Toronto City Council is well known around Toronto, that, you know, I was this councillor that stood up single-handedly to identify mismanagement in a computer leasing deal. I think that has made a big difference the way city government is run. If I look at some of the amenities that I brought to the riding where I represented on city council, we have new community center, new pools, new parks, just about all the things that, you know, local community look forward to on a daily basis. I've been involved or had my fingers somewhere in building these communities north of the 401, because when I moved up here in 1974, these were, you know, basically farm fields being developed as subdivisions. So I've seen the community grow, and I love the community, and this is why I still live here. My wife has been very supportive of my work in public life from day one. In fact, in the initial stages, my family was very supportive of me running the first time, because I was very active in getting things done in my local community. I was involved in the school. I was involved in getting the local park built. So over the years, they've grown accustomed to my long hours and not being home, you know, at appropriate times. But my family is now grown. My 3 kids are you know, in university, graduated and working. I just have 1 in school right now. And my wife has gotten accustomed to my schedule, and quite often she will come with me now, because, you know, we have more time on our hands because my children are grown and has left home. So it's not easy on the family. It's hard, but they understand that I've been in this for a long time, and they realize it's a commitment that I've made, and it's a commitment that I want to keep.
So you're taking this like public service, is it a job or is it a service?
In my opinion, it's a combination of both. It's a job because you have to make sure that the community and the people that you represent are satisfied and that they're happy with what you're doing. It's also a service because it's not 8:30 to 4:30. It requires 7 days a week. The other thing is you have to have a passion for it. And, you know, I've been involved in community work. I've been involved as a soccer coach, and I feel you know, I have a passion for working with people and seeing them strive. And when I see something that I was involved in makes a difference to someone's life, I think that's the pleasing factor of being in public life. I would say that our political system is probably one I'd support over many others. It's transparent, it's open, and it's democratic. It's fair that we should go to the poll every so often, because if the community is not happy with what you're doing, they have a chance to say so. And I've taken the job seriously over the years, and I think this is why the public in Scarborough Rouge River has given me the opportunity to serve them, and I'm very proud of that, and I take it very seriously. So, you know, I think my achievement of being elected, 6 going in 7 times is something that is very reflective of the work I do on behalf of the public. I can retire someday and not have to say that the public was disappointed in my work. It was very, very pleasing, or if I could say, I felt great that I achieved something when the provincial government actually implemented current value assessment, because that's what got me started. It took a long time to get there. And as they say, you know, governments don't work fast, they work very slowly. But I was very pleased when the government actually overhauled the assessment system and made it fair. Fair that everybody was treated the same. And the little things that I've gotten done in my community, you know, getting a park built or getting a road repaved or getting a new library, those things make a difference to people, and I would say they're all memorable, and I have many fond memories of working with people to make sure that these things are delivered into the community. To be honest with you, as a young man growing up, even in my home country or when I first arrived in Canada, politics would not have been my first choice of a career. I was working at Bell Canada. I had a very good job. I was well respected by my colleagues and upper management. But when I bought a new house and the taxes were what I called unfair, I think there was a call in there that there was an attraction for me to get involved in solving this problem. And after I had some successes, I convinced myself I can do the job. And I've always looked at it as a job that I have to work hard at. And that's what I've done over the 19 years. And for somebody new coming here, it's something you have to like. You have to understand that you're going to give up a lot of time. You have to understand that you got to reach out to other people. You have to understand that you got to spend time away from home. I don't think I went into this knowing all of that. I sort of grew into the job. So maybe any other person getting into politics, it might be totally different. But in my case, I grew into it. I enjoyed it. I made a difference to my community, and that's why I'm still here. I would encourage people to go and vote, because if you want to have a say in the way your province is run, in the way your communities are looked after, you should exercise that democratic right to choose the person you believe can do the job. If you don't exercise that right, then that person is getting elected by a minority and not the majority of people. And then they may implement something that will affect you. And it's no fault of theirs that you are affected, because you did not let them know your concerns or your needs, and you did not participate in a democratic process. In fact, a lot of countries around the world, people don't have this right to choose their leader. I think the opportunity we have here in Canada is a precious one, and we should preserve it. And all of us should make sure that we exercise that democratic vote. I am Bas Balkissoon, the MPP for Scarborough Rouge River, and on October the 10th, I would ask everyone to come out and support me for re-election. As a long-standing, experienced, hard-working member of Scarborough Rouge River for the past 19 years, I can assure you that I'll be out there working on your behalf. So if I could appeal to you that I'd look for your support to be re-elected on October the 10th, I would thank you very much for giving me that honor to serve you again.